Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to show you some easy DIY that you can do at home. But before we get into the DIY, please make sure to subscribe. So let's get started. First up, we're going to make a stress ball. The things you'll need are an old sock you don't need anymore, some pillow stuffing or rice. I'm using stuffing from an old pillow I don't need anymore. And you'll need an elastic rubber band. First thing you need to do is stuff the sock with stuffing. Now tie the rubber band around the top of the sock like you're tying a ponytail. Now we have a basic stress ball. You want to make it better. Take the top part of the sock and flip it inside out. Now wrap it around the stress ball. And there you go. Now we have an amazing stress ball. You can squish it and play with it.
Alright, so for the next DIY, I'm going to show you how to make a pillow. So for this easy DIY, you will need an old shirt that you don't use anymore. And you will need some pillows or pillow stuffing, some scissors. So for the first thing you need to do is cut the top and bottom of your old shirt. And now, as you can see, mine was a bit jagged on the edges and not as perfect, but as long as it's pretty straight, then you are good. Now we need to cut a bunch of strips from the bottom of the shirt. And my strips were probably about 2 inches long and 1.5 centimeters wide. But yours can be however you want it. This part does not take a long time at all, so make sure to take your time and make it as good as possible. Alright, so now that you've cut a bunch of strips along the bottom, all you have to do is pull each individual strip so then you can get ready for the next step, which is tying the strips together. So pull it and make it a bit longer. Alright, so now for the next step. This is pretty hard, so we have to zoom in, but you have to take the top strip from the top part of the shirt and the strip underneath, and then do a double knot. 1 knot, and then a second knot, just so there's no holes. And now we have to do the next one. Make sure that there isn't any holes and you tie the knots perfectly tight. And a second knot. For each of them, you have to do 2 knots just so everything can be very secure. To be really honest, this step did take quite a while with checking if the knots are good and there's no holes, but it is worth it at the end. Alright, so now you just have something like this, and make sure to look inside to see if there's any holes so then the stuffing won't leak out. It almost reminds me of a bag. That's really cool. Alright, so now we have to spread it around, and then you have to take all the pillow stuffing out of the pillow. And if you want, you can just buy pillow stuffing at any store, but I just have this old pillow laying around, so I decided to use the pillow stuffing from it. And for this, I don't even have to cut open the pillow. I can just open up and the pillow stuffing is inside. The pillow stuffing almost reminds me of hair. Alright, so now that you got the pillow stuffing out, you have to stuff your sack thing with the stuffing. And now just move it around to make sure everything is evenly spaced. And now all you have to do is do the exact same thing to the bottom. Cut strips and then do a double knot for each strip with the top and bottom. Alright, so here is our finished pillow. I would say this pillow is more like a decorative pillow rather than something you would lay on, but it is so cute and nice. And if you wanted to, you can cut the sides as well and then do a bunch of knots on there. But I just decided to leave it like this. Alright, so the next easy craft is 2-ingredient slime. Now this craft is super straightforward. All you have to do is pour some clear glue or any type of glue really into a mixing cup, and then pour some detergent over it. I'm using Tide and I poured it slowly over, a little at a time. And now all you have to do is knead it a bunch. This part is actually really fun. And your end result should be a really nice clicky slime. Next up, I'm going to show you how to make diamond lace shoes. So the first thing you need to do is take the shoelaces out of your shoe. I'm using Converse. And now you need to take one end of the shoelace and pull it through the first hole on the left side. And do the same thing with the other end of the shoelace. Pull it through the first hole on the right side. Make sure that both shoelaces are even. Now pull the shoelace on the right and pull it through diagonally on the third hole on the left. And do the same thing on the right side. And now take the shoelace on the right and pull it through the previous hole. On the inside it should look something like this. And do the same thing on the other side as well. Now that you've done that, take the shoelace on the right and pull it diagonally through the fourth shoelace on the left. And now do the same thing on the right. And now take the shoelace on the right and pull it backwards to the hole on the right. And do the same thing on the other side. And now take the shoelace on the right and pull it through the hole on the left. And do the same thing on the other side as well. And now take the shoelace on the right and pull it through the previous hole. Do the same thing on the other side. And now pull the right shoelace diagonally to the left and the left shoelace diagonally through the right. I decided to put the shoelace through the two holes on the side, and there you go. Now you have some diamond lace shoes that you can rock. If you want a different style of lacing, here is weaved laces. So the first thing you need to do is tie a knot in one end of the shoelace and pull the shoelace through the first hole on the left side of the shoe. Now cross it over to the first hole on the next side and pull it through. Now pull it under through the next shoe hole. And then cross it over to the second hole on the other side. It through the whole shoe. This is called bar lacing. And when you're done with that, take your shoelace and just basically go over the first lace and go under the second lace. And then go over the next lace and go under the fourth lace. You're basically just weaving the shoelace through the straps. And now when you're on the other side, just hook it over and then go under the second shoelace. And then weave through the other ones. So yeah, that's it. All you have to do is go back and forth by weaving until your shoelace is short. When you're done, pull the shoelace through the last strap and hook it over. And now pull it across through the hole and pull it through the hole. And I decided to pull the shoelace through the two holes on the side. And there you go. Now you have brand new weaved lace shoes.